Giles Corey, the unfriendly ghost of Howard Street Cemetery. It is widely believed that cemeteries are haunted grounds because of numerous dead that are buried there. But the case of Howard Street Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts is completely different. The source of the eerie activities taking place there was rather linked to what happened in the location centuries ago. Stay with me till the end of this video as I share with you why the Howard Street Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts is considered one of the haunted locations in Salem. You are on Daily Horror. Here we bring you gravest of horrors that lurk around in our world, most of which are around you and you don't even have an idea. So, if you are thrilled by terror and consider yourself brave enough to face any dreadful situation, subscribe and turn on your notification to get notified anytime we put up a new video. Salem is undoubtedly one of the most haunted cities in America. It is known for hosting different eerie locations that will send chills down your spine while visiting, as well as reading about them. One of these locations is the popular Howard Street Cemetery. This cemetery is known not for any incident that happened there in recent time. Rather, it was known for an incident that happened several centuries ago. The year was 1692, and it was the time when witch hunting and trials were rampant all over the world, and America wasn't spared from these activities. Giles Corey was a rich, elderly farmer originally from England. At the time, Salem law dictated that those found guilty of crimes must have their property seized by the sheriff. The sheriff would then divide the property among the village. Given this legal and cultural structure, the wealthy Corey was placed in the town's crosshairs as one to always conveniently suspect. Though most people convicted of witchcraft at the time were female, there were some males that were caught up in the allegations and were convicted as well. In April 1692, 5 girls, better known as the Afflicted Girls of Salem, accused Corey of witchcraft. The girls accused him of torturing them, and their emotional cries and groans of pain further convicted the judges that Corey was guilty. Corey asserted that he was not guilty, but rejected the trial. He believed the court was biased against him, so he had no real chance of being declared innocent. Instead of proceeding with a trial and attempting to defend himself, he never went. He was sentenced to death with a specific form of execution called peine forte et dure, or strong and forceful punishment. Peine forte et dure was a form of punishment originally from Europe. It was actually considered illegal due to its barbaric nature, and this form of execution consisted of death by crushing. On September 19, 1692, Corey was crushed to death in Salem village, shortly after being excommunicated from the church. His execution was an agonizing process. First, he was stripped nude and forced to lie down on the ground. On top of his back, a wooden board was placed. Increasingly heavy rocks were then placed one by one on the board as the pressure from the growling weight gradually crushed his bones and organs. All of the villagers watched his execution as a spectacle. As the rocks were stacked on him and the sheriff demanded he plead, Corey simply responded, "More weight." He pleaded for more weight as in addition to his resolute belief in his innocence, he strove to die faster. It took days for him to finally succumb to his death. It is said that while he was being executed, he placed a curse on Salem, with target to the sheriff in particular, shouting, "Damn you, I curse you and Salem," at the man. Sheriff Corwin died of a sudden heart attack at 30, just a few years after Corey's execution. The curse is thought to have lived on, affecting every Salem sheriff from 1692 onward as recently as 1991. In 1978, Salem Sheriff Robert E. Cahill had to retire due to a litany of health issues: stroke, a blood disease, and a heart attack. His doctors couldn't detect their causes. The sheriff before Cahill also developed a blood disease that forced him to retire. That sheriff had inherited his position from his father, who died of a heart attack while being sheriff himself. The sheriff before him yet had also struggled with heart conditions, as far back as traceable. Corey's curse lingered for 3 centuries until 1991, when the sheriff's office moved out of Salem, breaking the curse. Since 1991, no sheriffs have had heart or blood problems diagnosed. Corey was buried in an unmarked grave in what is now the Howard Street Cemetery near the site of his execution. Since his death, there have been rumors that his ghost haunts the cemetery, seeking retribution for his killing, and is most commonly encountered before and after a town tragedy, such as the Great Salem Fire of 1914. In 1914, right before the fire, a ghostly figure of an old man was seen hovering through the cemetery grounds. The fire started near Gallows Hill, the site of his wife Martha's hanging. It destroyed most of Salem. It remains unclear where his ghost will next be seen. What is clear? This is not a friendly ghost. Though his actual grave is unmarked, a memorial marker for Corey can be found at the Salem Witch Trials Memorial. Do you think Corey's trial and execution were fair? Have you encountered the ghost of Corey? Give us your thoughts in the comment section. We welcome them and we surely will engage them. Also, if you've had ghost encounters with proof and you'd want us to talk about it, reach out to us using the provided link in the description. Remember to like and share this video. Till we come your way again, stay spooked. Coming up in the next episode, Daily Horror brings you the Consuming Evil Forest, Hoia Bacil Forest, Romania. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you won't miss out on the next exciting episode.